About 18 months ago, our club started getting involved in more lobbying and advocacy, and we lobbied hard against the domestic, or for including non-fatal strangulation in the domestic abuse bill. And that really whetted our appetite in our small club for doing other things. And so a year ago, a group of members set up the Vogue group to decide what we were going to do for 16 days of activism. And to create a campaign for it. It was decided that this should be two-pronged, Orange in Godalming and a social media campaign. We got the manual, and if people haven't seen it, get it from St Albans about oranging everything. It's a really, really good piece of work. It contains a huge amount of significant ideas. The group liaised with Godalming and Waverley councils, along with the Chamber of Commerce in Godalming, to help. Members spent a day in October talking to all the shopkeepers along the high street and asking them if they would decorate their windows later in the year. The walk took a lot longer than anticipated. We thought we'd just zoom along. Due to the amazing conversations we had on the way, every single shopkeeper was engaged with this conversation, every single one of them. And we got into all sorts of deep conversations, I can tell you. During November, we walked the high street again and delivered to the shops orange bags full of ribbon, leaflets and postcards. And most shops also gave us their email address so that they could be named in our campaign and kept up to date. The upshot of that group's work was the lighting up of the pepper pot. It's a local sort of landmark. What you probably can't see on the corner here is a flag, which is an orange flag that we also had put up. There was a statement, this was on the day when they lit up Godalming with the Christmas lights, so hence the white as well. And there was a statement read by this little chap down here about us and what we were doing and what it was all about. He's the man standing next door to Peppa Pig. An invitation to Jeremy Hunt, who's our MP, to attend, and he did. I'm not quite sure whether it was because of us or whether because he was there anyway. And about 40 local shops put stuff in their windows, ribbons and bags, and it was quite, it all went orange. The snag with this particular timing is the very next day they Christmas their windows and asking people to orange it. But anyway, we got this tremendous response. So the club was really buoyed up by the conversations we had generated along the high street, the links we'd formed, and the sense of achievement. So what after that? We decided to split our next efforts into 3 headings. So we split the next one into awareness, advocacy and action as we talk about it, and this is what we've done so far. Awareness. We arranged a session of speakers to come to our club, and they included Surrey Police and Crime Commissioner, RASAC, the Rape and Sexual Abuse Support Centre, and SARB from True Honour, among others. What we learnt is that Surrey PCC have identified stalking as a common factor in cases that lead to sexual violence, and that they have started a programme of educating offenders in the impact of stalking. They were very clear that they didn't want to criminalise stalking, they wanted to educate, in the hope that this prevents future behaviour. They produced a triangle of, I don't know whether people have seen it, but it's a triangle that shows the levels of sort of worsening behaviour, if you like, and at the top you've got the violence against women, and in all of them there is stalking. So this is what they're focusing on. We've also learnt that coercive and financial control are the most common forms of abuse in Surrey. And RASAC are asking women how they want to move forward with their cases. What we heard from RASAC, by the way, was just the length of time it takes to get a case to court. The whole process, whether people have got IDVAs or not, how they get there, and then indeed what the conviction rate is at the end of it, which is awful. So that was a bit worrying. But then we had plan for outreach. This was our action. Wolverhampton, SI Wolverhampton joined us when SARB came to talk, and one of their members works for West Midlands Police, so she's introduced SARB to the training programmes in her area in the police. We've also spoken to the Towns Women's Guild, the WI, Surrey Vixens, Virtual WI, and have more invitations to speak to local groups in the next few months who we've recognised have the same agendas. We then have advocacy. We challenged the PCC on this headline. It says Surrey Police has the worst rape charge rate in England and Wales. It's a statistical anomaly. Who knew? that arises out of duplicate reporting, so they said. But in addition to that, we've lobbied our local councils on new gender-neutral toilets being built. We've ensured that all parties have received the Special Domestic Abuse Court report, and we've lobbied the 4 MPs and the Baroness that cover our area to ask for their support in getting the recommendations implemented. Action. We have obviously had monthly Orange Cafes, and the lady who you can just about see, Jeanette, on there, she's a new member who came in because of our oranging Godalming last year, saw the oranging, saw the social media, and just turned up on the doorstep when we were having a club meeting one day and said, can I come in? At the request of the PCC, we have shared a recent police survey on primary school relationship teaching, and we've written to the Godalming Learning Partnership about the availability of fully funded PHSE teacher training on healthy relationships. And as I say, we've had monthly Orange Cafes, which have been organised by Jeanette, and they've been really successful. They're advertised widely and have attracted non-seroptimists. Every single one we've had non-seroptimists come to talk to us. And again, we've had these amazing conversations with people that have never had this conversation before. And some have expressed an interest and some have joined. 2 of our members marched in London in support of Million Women Rise with the WI, and then a number of our members have gone through the bystander training put on by Susie Lamplew's Trust. We also continue to support Your Sanctuary in working with, you probably can't see it, but things to support the women and children in the sanctuary. What next? Well, very soon we've got an event which is a fundraiser for RASAC in conjunction with Townswomen's Guild. It's on November the 18th, and we're going to be curling. So if people would like to come curling, let us know. It's £10 afternoon tea. Come and see us. All money to RASAC. We're also planning our 16 days campaign again, and we're hoping to light up Godalming and continue the social media campaign. In the new year, we're planning to have a cross-party conference of interested parties, all these people that we've met, and bring them together and really talk about this issue of stalking and picking that out as an issue across Surrey to say, what is it that we can help with? How can we educate? How can we educate about the impact of stalking? One of the things they said to us was that the vast majority of stalking is done by ex-relationships or family people. It's not done by people you don't know, but they're trying to get across to people what the impact of that is before it becomes worse. And I understand that Epsom, Woking and Weybridge have expressed an interest of working with us next year to have a combined conference about all this issue across Surrey. So we're looking forward to that. So as you can see, many strands in our efforts involving many community groups, agents, councillors, MPs, and all the active members of our small club. The work has made Surrey Hills much more visible in Godalming and the surrounding areas, and has served to raise the awareness of violence against women in our area. Thank you.